let's talk about episode 1 of season 7 of The Walking Dead. Of course, you guys sure saw my reaction videos. I just wanted to show you guys like how I was feeling because I knew this was going to be probably the most emotional episode of The Walking Dead ever. And indeed it was. I mean, I read the spoiling dead like I mentioned in my reaction video. I'm like, Abraham and Glenn are going to die, I think, because that's what it said on the spoiling dead. But I was still surprised because the visual was just absolutely horrifying and obviously incredible at the same time. I keep seeing that picture in my head of Glenn getting smashed up with the bat and then his eye popping out. Oh my god. Oh my god. What incredible. Incredible incredible visual. That's all I got to say. Most shows traditionally, if someone gets beaten to death or something happens, like the camera just, moves away. But in this case, that's not what happened. And I just thought I was really upset, but I'll give him credit where credit's due. It was a very, very, very amazing, amazing visual. And in The Talking Dead right now, they have the entire cast of the show up on stage. I don't really care much for The Talking Dead, but I think it's kind of cool. Like this is the biggest Talking Dead ever. There's like thousands of people on stage, so this is definitely the most important episode of the series, not just this season. I think this is definitely like the most important episode of the series. Um, the thing with Abraham taking it like a champ, like I kind of predicted Abraham was gonna die, but man, I just thought that was just crazy. Because the whole having two people die, like a lot of people predicted that two people were gonna die, and of course it was leaked a few days ago. But oh man, Rick was so broken by the end of the episode. Like with the whole thing with Carl, like you guys saw my reaction to that. That was just crazy, and I'm kind of still reacting to it because this just happened minutes ago. Whew, I'm not gonna say this is the best Walking Dead episode ever, but it was definitely the best Walking Dead episode in terms of visuals. Visually seeing Abraham, just his head exploding pretty much. Visually seeing Glenn's eye popping out and him trying to talk, and visually seeing how all of them were reacting, like it felt so real. It really did. It felt very real. And I'm just gonna personally say, Abraham dying, like I'd be able to deal with it, but Glenn dying, that was just too much. Glenn was probably one of my favorite characters in the show. I feel like he was a bit underutilized in the show. Like I felt like you couldn't really get to see his character. Like all you really saw was like his relationship with Maggie growing. You didn't really get to know Glenn as a person that much. Like his first kill was last season, so they really underutilized him. I feel. I don't feel like they utilized him properly, and I felt it was sad that he died, especially since last season they had the whole thing with Glenn supposedly dying. They pretended that he died and they were hyping it up like Glenn's dead, Glenn's dead, Glenn's dead, and then oh he's back alive, and then for them to just do it again, honestly, it left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm gonna say, but it definitely left an impact, and I do want to see more. So they did do their job. I'm sure it was a hard decision because Stephen Young, I'm sure, was well loved uh, among the cast and among the directors and everybody who puts the show together. But you know what? It served a purpose. It wasn't one of those. It wasn't one of those just throwaway deaths that just happen and that's it. It was actually a death that had a meaning. And although I felt like they could have built up Glenn a bit more before they killed him off, I understand why they did it. And I just love how like they ignore the comics, with like all the time, and then the one time where like it actually, like they actually decide to follow the comics, the part where Glenn dies, and I'm like, oh, why they have to do that? Because ever since the beginning of the show, when I first started watching Walking Dead a few years ago, this was like the first time I watched Walking Dead was right before season 3 aired. I watched season 1 and 2, and then I watched season 3. And I read about Glenn, and I'm like, oh my god, this isn't gonna happen like in a few years. Like, I don't want this to happen. And sure enough, 4 years later, it happens. Because 4 years ago, I watched Walking Dead for the first time, and I got interested in the series, and I was immediately hooked on Glenn. Whew, that was just too much. It was a crazy episode, and Rick is broken, completely broken. Maggie is broken too, and I just wonder what's gonna happen in the future. I really do. Who's gonna die? I know what's gonna happen in the future. Like with Maggie, apparently she becomes the leader of Hilltop, because that's why she's going to Hilltop. Apparently she's gonna become its new leader, even though Negan's gonna be the real leader of that shit, obviously. But I'm just gonna say something about Negan. Negan's an amazing villain. He's only appeared in 2 episodes, and he already surpassed the Governor in terms of the best villain. And this is coming from someone who absolutely loved David Morrissey and loved the Governor. But, you know, Negan was definitely a better villain. Like, that can't really be disputed. So, anyway, this is pretty much, sharing my thoughts with the episode. I want to know what you guys think. Man, that image of Glenn, though, getting, when he first got struck with the bat, the blood gushing out, his eye popping out, you can see part of his brain at the top. That's definitely the highlight of the episode for me. Definitely the highlight. And I loved how, like, Chris Hardwick looks so depressed when he's like, hello, everybody. This is the Talking Dead. Like, you know how they do it, like, 10 minutes before the show ends? They're like, we are live. The Talking Dead is on at 10 o'clock. Like, Chris Hardwick looked like he was, a speaker at a funeral. Like, it was crazy. But man, I wonder what's gonna happen. I mean, we saw some. I saw the scenes, from this season, and basically the entire season's gonna revolve around Negan playing mind games with Rick and everybody else. He's gonna continue to do that and continue to do that, and I assume season 8 or 9 is when shit's gonna finally hit the fan and Rick's gonna, things are gonna turn around. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think this whole season's gonna revolve around Negan playing mind games. Not too many good moments are gonna happen in the show in terms of like good things happening for the characters. That's not gonna happen at all. Let me just make quick predictions for Daryl. I think what's gonna happen is Daryl is going to. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen with Daryl. I can't even make a prediction. Like, Negan took Daryl. Man, and I thought they were gonna cut Carl's arm off. I thought they were gonna do it, but actually, a part of me was like, you know what? I think Negan's gonna tell him to stop. I think that's gonna happen because too much shit happened. But part of me was like, they might actually do it. They might actually cut the arm off. And you guys saw my live reaction to it. I was just like, they're not gonna do it. They can't do it. But man, I think what's on everybody's mind now, besides Daryl dying, not Daryl dying, Glenn dying, and Abraham dying, I think what they're going to do. I think what's on everybody's mind is what's going to happen to Daryl. What's going to happen to Daryl? I think that's what's going to be on everybody's mind because Daryl is with Negan now. And I guess Negan's going to try to assimilate Daryl with the group. And if the group doesn't comply with Negan's rules, like they're going to use Daryl as a way to torture the rest of the group by like, torturing Daryl, or like he said, cut off all his limbs and feed it and send it to his doorstep or whatever, like in Alexandria, like Negan said. But hopefully Daryl's okay. Hopefully Daryl survives because Daryl, people like Daryl more than they like Rick. So, anyway, we'll see. I said enough at this point. Just, man, I can't wait for episode 2. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for checking out my reactions. I'm trying to build this channel up. I just started this channel very recently. I made a few videos about season 6, but this episode was just crazy. With Walking Dead season 7 premiere, I'm like, I know I have to start this channel back up because I took a break for a while and then I made that video about Luke Cage, and now I'm going to try to get back into it because there are a lot of shows I'm watching. I'm gonna try to make a review on The Walking Dead. Obviously, I might review every episode if we'll see how it goes. Maybe. Um, I'm going to do reviews on the Marvel shows because I've been watching them lately. You know, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. Obviously, I'm just gonna make discussion videos about TV shows and movies. That's what this channel is gonna be about. Yeah, I currently have a name for this channel. Like as you guys said, it's called as you guys see, it's called Ultimate Death Wish TV. But I'm probably gonna change the name of it to something better because that name's kind of shitty. uh, I'll definitely change it. But currently, I have 7 subscribers. Hopefully, it builds up. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and let me know in the comments what you guys think. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.